My name is Khalsa, and I am a Kundalini yoga teacher and trainer. Yogi Bhajan taught that when a child is born, that the child is kind of encapsulated within the aura of the mother. So it really, in a very primal, real sense, the mother and child are one. They're just one being. The child doesn't even understand that they're separate at all from anything, really, but particularly from their mother. And so for a woman, when she gives birth, if she has that kind of sensitivity or awareness, you can really feel it in your nervous system of how you have to expand to be able to hold this whole other being and care for them, not just in a physical way, but you can actually feel it. And I think that many women actually do feel that, but because they don't have a context for it or a language for it or an understanding about what's happening, I really think that that's where a lot of postpartum depression and just this kind of anxiety and stress comes about, because they've just gone through this very major physical experience, but also such an energetic expansion, and they don't really have support for it. And so Kundalini Yoga has some very specific tools and kind of technologies and exercises to do to help give a stronger nervous system, so that when it comes time for you to be expanding to cover this whole other being, that your nervous system can start to handle it. And then also the meditation is so vital. I mean, I think really if women just walked and meditated, they'd be completely prepared for birth and for motherhood. But unfortunately, that's not how most women, it's not how we live anymore. So in the yoga class, a lot of the focus is definitely on meditation and really going into that space so that you can be able to sit with your own mind. Because I kept thinking after my son was born and I was breastfeeding for hours and hours and hours in a day, I kept thinking, wow, if I didn't know how to meditate, this would be really hard to just sit and not do anything else but be present with my child and feed him. So if you're kind of not having that capacity to just sit and relax and allow time to pass, it'd be really difficult to be present with your child while all of that is happening. What I often say when I'm teaching a class is that we will focus definitely on strengthening the body and stretching and opening and all of those things that are needed, but it's not to focus on this event of the birth, because I always like to say that birth happens. In some way, baby is born. And however that happens, whether it's exactly as you planned it to be or if everything goes the opposite way, you still are the mother of that child afterwards. And that's actually where the importance needs to be placed, is learning to be able to be present, so that when you become a mother, you can handle all of those stresses. So I feel like as a teacher of prenatal yoga, I'm not so much teaching as I'm helping to create a space that women can just feel that in themselves and feel the fact that they are like the masters of the universe. And if women can feel that, they can handle anything. Yogi Bhajan really, when he came to America in the 60s, he really focused on teaching women primarily. I mean, he taught everybody, but he knew that he had a limited amount of time left, and he needed to deliver these teachings. And so he focused a lot on teaching women, because he knew that women are the foundation of any society. And if you teach the women, then the women will teach everything. Because there's not a human on the planet that hasn't been born through women. And so his teachings and his focus was really to help empower and give that real sense of responsibility, not in a guilt kind of way, but responsibility, to be able to, as women, understand that we have the capacity to create peace on the planet, to totally shift how society is run, just by the very simple act of how we mother children.